to another episode of the Caffeinated Librarians. We're all here again this week. We are missing people for the past, I think, 2 episodes. Ben?
Hey.
It's good you're back for this episode because as we are nearing the end of March, it is also nearing the end of Women's History Month. So we thought we'd like to take a moment to reflect on the women of,
Here's one for the girls.
Yep, there's nothing better than a guy's perspective on women in film.
Yeah.
Women in film. So, anybody want to start us off on what they got? Simona with their PowerPoint?
I just wanted to organize it this way.
Share with the class.
I will. So, so for my first choice, I went with the Golden Girls
Oh.
because they are awesome.
And Betty White's
R.I.P.
part of it, so,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah, and we recently lost Betty White. But it's just a fantastic show. All of the girls, so Blanche, Dorothy, Rose, and Sophia, they're just fantastic. It's just a great show. So if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it.
I'm a Blanche person, not gonna lie.
I love Blanche.
Sophia
Yeah.
is my favorite character. Always studying her stories in Sicily.
Yes.
I like all of them.
Picture it.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
And honestly, what's B. Arthur's character's name?
Oh, Dorothy.
Dorothy. I always just end up calling her B. Arthur.
Dorothy's
But
Spornak.
she's so good. I feel like a lot of the show is just them making fun of her, but she's a great straight man.
Well, I love her sarcastic one-liners
Yeah.
of all of the characters. It's great.
Yeah, and a little trivia. One of the things that's characteristic of the show is that they always eat cheesecake, and Bea Arthur hated cheesecake. So, and she
Who
hated her
hates
outfits
cheesecake?
too. I don't know.
Love cheesecake.
I love cheesecake. I crave cheesecake
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah, so
Really?
They're my first.
Well, I don't know about that. Every week, really?
I'm a
Wow.
Cheesecake Factory used to have an Oreo cheesecake. Bring it back.
That's living deliciously.
Well, my stepfather used to work for Cheesecake Factory. At
Oh,
some point,
okay,
So
that
he'd bring home
explains it.
cheesecakes,
Yeah.
and I was like, cheesecakes suck, and then I was into it. But they had an Oreo cheesecake, which they took off the menu and made a double chocolate Oreo cheesecake. Bring back just the regular Oreo cheesecake.
Oh, wow.
You
The
heard-
Boathouse in Ossining makes a pretty dope raspberry cheesecake. Shout out Boathouse.
Could they sponsor us? Could you sponsor us and give us cheesecakes?
Maybe one.
I'll make you guys a cheesecake. I've always wanted to try making one.
Next
They're really
episode.
easy.
I have pans now.
So are we going this way?
Go ahead.
I thought you had
yeah.
more on your list.
Do we want to do it all at once just to save time?
If you think it
I'm
would
cool
save
with
time.
jumping around.
Yeah, we
Whatever-
could jump
whatever
around.
we feel.
Okay.
We could
all right,
jump, we
all right.
can list.
All right, we'll jump around.
Just listen to your heart.
I'll jump around.
That's what I do.
Okay, it's my turn.
Yes.
Okay. One of my favorite women from TV is Carol Burnett.
Nice.
I love the Carol Burnett variety show because at the time it was groundbreaking and she's like one of those pioneers of TV. And she had been told that, women couldn't run a variety show because it was of that time where women weren't, they didn't have their own TV shows. It was the men mostly.
There is no
So-
Tina Fey. There is no Amy Poehler.
No, not
Without
without,
Carol
Carol
Burnett.
Burnett.
Yeah.
So Carol Burnett's one of my favorite women. Like her variety show is great, and I loved her cameos on Hawaii Five-0. It was great. So.
Susanna Bier, I think, is the best filmmaker that's ever existed. She's made After the Wedding. She's made In a Better World. She made, to a lesser extent of quality, Bird Box. She did what's it called? Tom Hiddleston, where he runs the hotel.
Oh, that's good. What is
amazing.
that called? The concierge? No, Night Manager.
Night Manager.
That was good.
Did The Undoing.
I don't know what that is.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's The Undoing?
The Undoing is the one with Hugh Grant and Nicole Kidman on HBO.
Oh, that was good too.
Yeah.
That was dark.
She is just a powerhouse and one of the best voices in film in the world. And After the Wedding, to this day, is still my all-time favorite movie. I force everyone I know to watch it.
I don't think I've ever even heard
I
of
judge
it.
my friendship with this said person on how much they did or did not like that movie
I'll have to
Wow.
check it out. After the wedding.
after the wedding, because it's that important. And I think it's downstairs. I think we have
Oh,
it.
yeah?
Mads
Okay.
Mikkelsen's in it. So
Mhm.
I'm
And
interested.
Sidza Babette Knudsen.
Wow. Shout out to the person that does our DVD ordering. Good for
Thank
them.
you, Joyce.
Good job, Lou.
Can I edit in some crowd applause right there?
I'm also going with the director realm. Catherine Bigelow, first female director to win an Oscar. And she does some heavy hitting stuff. Olivia Wilde, absolutely think that she is an up and comer.
I'm very excited for her new movie.
Me
One
too.
of my friends worked on the set and said
Oh, yeah?
that Olivia Wilde was just lovely. Just
Yeah.
a total sweetheart.
She seems like that, right? She just seems like a genuinely awesome person. And Greta Gerwig. I mean, I fell in love with Greta Gerwig after Frances Ha, and anything she does now, I'm like, I have to see that. She seems like another one that's just like the most endearing person.
Yeah. And Little Women deserved
Yeah.
Best Picture that year.
Oh yeah, yeah.
As good as every other film was, that's how much better Little Women
Oh yeah,
was. Yeah. Better than everything. And one of the best years for Oscars in a decade.
yeah, yeah. What else was up that year?
1917.
That's right, that was-
Jojo Rabbit.
Oh right. Oh my
Uh,
God. Yeah, that was good
1917 was
too.
great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. It was an amazing year for
Yeah.
film, but that was the one.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my first round.
I'm also gonna go with the director, Elaine May. She's one of my favorite directors. She started off as part of a comedy duo with Mike Nichols, who went on to direct The Graduate and had a better career than her, which is wrong because he was a much worse director. But Elaine May she's only made 4 movies in her career because the studio system is sexist, and when a man goes over budget, he's an auteur. When a woman goes over budget, her career gets ruined. But all 4 of those movies are absolute classics. A New Leaf I watched for the first time 2 summers ago with a friend with a bottle of mead, and we were like crying laughing by the end. It also features a hysterical performance by her as perhaps the most like clueless deer in the headlights woman to ever live. Then Mikey and Nicky, just one of the best gangster films I've ever seen that really hits on a lot more of like the homoerotic aspects of the genre, and it stars John Cassavetes and Peter Falk, so you can't go wrong.
No,
you
you really
cannot
can't.
go wrong. And it's set in Philly, so shout out for that. And yeah, I love Elaine May, and she deserves so much more recognition than she gets, but I think she's getting there. So
Shout out Philly.
yeah.
I'm going to throw 2 names out just because they were in the same work. There's 2 actresses I very much have enjoyed in the past 10 years. It's Sarah Paulson and Jessica Lange. I really enjoy Jessica Lange in general. I think any role that she does a fantastic and amazing job. She really gets into her characters. Like, I also like that she plays a lot of the time like a Southern lady, like an old like Louisiana Southern lady, and I really enjoy her roles as such. But I'm a big fan of the show like American Horror Story, and if anything American Horror Story has like given us with Sarah Paulson and Jessica Lange was showing us the different sides to the acting abilities of both of them. Sarah Paulson, I don't think initially was a strong actress, but I think she got more traction when American Horror Story actually came out.
Have you seen the American Crime Story?
I haven't seen those yet.
I haven't seen the second season, but she's amazing in season 1 as why can I not think of her name? Famous attorney.
She's the lawyer who went up against O.J. Simpson's.
Yeah, and I cannot.
I don't remember.
No.
It's okay. I don't remember her name either. So,
But she gives an amazing performance in that, and she gives an absolutely deranged and very interesting performance as Linda Tripp in Impeachment.
Ugh. I didn't know. Is that by the same people who did American Horror Story?
Yeah,
Because
it's
she's
Ryan
becoming
Murphy.
She's becoming a favorite of theirs, and she
Yeah.
said that as long as they're willing to do anything, she'll just do it. She kind of stepped in the second season of American Horror Story because she wasn't in the first series. But I think once Jessica Lange, I was very sad when Jessica Lange decided she could no longer do them. And Sarah
She's one of
Paulson,
the best part about that whole series.
She was amazing, and she came back she reprised her role, but it wasn't the same anymore, in my opinion. I love Jessica Lange. I wish she had stayed. But Sarah Paulson completely dominated as, like, the main woman, and she played so many roles, and I love seeing the many faces that people can take. So, shout out to those two.
Alright, so I just stuck with naming female characters, so...
$5 says I know. Oh, man, that's not who I was going to say.
Don't
Yes.
act like you know me.
All right.
I love her.
$2 says the person that I'm thinking is in there.
Molly Weasley. She's just a fantastic character. She's an excellent mother. I love how much she cares about Harry and how she becomes almost like a surrogate mother for him. She's a fantastic character, and also her battle scene with Bellatrix Lestrange is awesome. She handles it like a boss.
The second movie is
Shout
my
out
favorite scene
Bellatrix
with her.
Lestrange.
Yes.
What a great role.
She
for
is
her.
Helen Bonham Carter.
She
Yeah.
was another one on my list, Helen
Yeah.
Bonham Carter. She plays weird in the best ways,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
her hair is the best. I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie.
her hair is so cool.
Oh, I love her
Every
hair.
role. It's always a little different, but it's always...
Like Sweeney Todd, she had like the pigtails, little poofs, and I was like, ah, yes.
And she steals every moment
Yeah.
of the crown. That she
Oh, yeah.
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 Every single scene. And she steals Paddington.
She steals Paddington.
Oh, yeah. She's the grandma in Paddington. She's amazing.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that is.
Paddington.
You don't know Paddington?
He's a
Like
little
The
bear.
movie, the
that-
Paddington
Teddy
Bear.
bear.
I have the
That
original
It's
bear.
Paddington. He
Marmalade.
comes to Paddington
Wow.
Station, and that's how he gets his name.
Marmalade.
Simone, I've
Yeah.
been disappointed before, but never like this.
I haven't seen the Paddington films. but
I haven't seen
know
them, but
the
I know
little guy.
Paddington. Yeah.
I know Paddington Bear, but if I'm not disappointing you, I don't consider it an accomplishment for my day. So
Well, consider your day done.
great.
My
You
mom.
can rest
Pat
easy.
myself.
You'll probably find yourself, Joe, in tears just from watching the artistic achievement of both those Paddington movies.
I know. Well,
Just every accolade they have, they deserve double.
Okay, my turn.
Mhm.
We good? Okay. My favorite.
Rude.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. My other. Okay. My other character that I really like is Danielle from Ever After, Drew Barrymore.
Oh, yeah.
She is my favorite adaptation of Cinderella.
It's one of the best adaptations.
Yeah, it is like one of the best adaptations of Cinderella, and it's just a movie that I've grown up watching, and I absolutely love what Drew Barrymore did with the Cinderella character, and yeah, I don't know how else to describe it.
It's such a good movie. My
Mhm.
mom showed me that movie. I love that movie. The
I love that
outfits.
movie.
I love that Leonardo da Vinci is the one that is basically the godmother
Yeah.
in that movie.
Yeah.
It makes it so realistic, but at the same time not, because he wouldn't do
Right.
it. But
Right.
it's nice to think he would.
It's a historical fiction.
The queen was great too. She's just like, she's like, get a hold of your son. He's like, you
Yeah.
get a hold of your son. She's just-
Well, one of my favorite lines of her is like, choose wisely, Henry, because divorce is the only thing they do in England. And she looks right at the king when she says that.
Oh,
So,
it's tough.
yeah. It's great, though. It's fun. And I also love the part where Henry is marrying this Spanish princess, and she's like crying hysterically, like she
Yeah.
can't breathe, like hyperventilating and stuff. And the instant he calls it off, she runs to the guy that she is in love with, and it's and then they see that the Spanish king and queen have been having the same difficulties as the French king and queen have, and the French king goes, and I thought I had problems, and they start cracking up in the church. It's great.
when you realize royal marriage isn't all cracked up to be.
Yeah.
There's a killer song in the trailers for that movie. What was the song? It was like a techno song almost, but it was really, really good.
I should find the trailer.
Just as like a little piece of trivia, I would love to know because I remember that.
I don't remember.
Although the trailer made the movie seem like something it really wasn't. Like, I remember when I watched the trailer, because I was very young, so I never went to see it in theaters, but my older sister went to see it. I don't know if she liked it at the time, but I remember when I watched the trailer, I was like, that doesn't seem anything like the film, but I love that film nonetheless.
I'll look it up later.
Very
We're
good.
gonna play it.
Yes.
You want to play it now?
No, yeah, sure.
No. We'll save that for afterwards.
All right.
After hours, Caffeinated Librarians rave.
I think credit should always be given to Nora Ephron. I think she was one of the best voices in intelligent romantic comedy. And I know that like You've Got Mail was essentially about gaslighting someone. At the time, I could kind of see the romance of it. It's hard to look at the movie the same way today. But there was such like a warmth and goodness to all of her work and all of her characters, and I think that's a voice that has not been replicated since it left the world. And I think Hollywood has been trying their damnedest to find the next Nora Ephron and have not been able to. But You've Got Mail, Sleepless in Seattle, that shitty one with John Travolta as an angel.
Michael?
Yeah.
That's
But really, to me, it falls down to You've Got Mail and Sleepless in Seattle, I think are just...
Are you telling me that the person that wrote, what's the one with Kate Hudson and Matthew McConaughey?
How to Lose
I-
a Guy in
How
10
to
Days.
Lose-
Yeah, I
Guy in
can't
10
even tell my
Days.
joke. I can't even make fun of it because I don't remember the name of it.
Was that Nora Ephron?
No, I'm just saying, I was making a joke saying, are you saying that the person that wrote that isn't the next Nora Ephron?
I'd say that's accurate, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll come back to you, Will. Have faith. It'll
Yeah.
come back.
I'm a little embarrassed. I had a whole list of this category written down on my phone, and I left my phone in the office. And I don't even remember
I can look it up for
all
you.
the
You know
names.
what it is.
Yeah, the first person is really the one I wanted to talk about the most. She was the cinematographer for Creed. Cinematography is that's like I love the cinematographers. I think I've gushed over Roger Deakins a few times during these podcasts. The woman that does the cinematography for Creed, I think she does an amazing job with it, and she's done a couple of other really, really well-known stuff too.
I was hooting and hollering during the one-shot fight scene in Creed.
That's exactly what I was just going to bring up, was the one-shot thing, and she said, you don't need cuts to help
Maurice
with
Albert.
emotion. Yes. I think she did a masterful job in that. And also, shout out Michael B. Jordan. You really should have been nominated for an Oscar for that.
Oh, she shot Velvet Goldmine?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, Poison too. Poison is a
Yeah.
killer movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And shout out to Gabriel Rosado, who's Michael B. Jordan's opponent in that winner.
Oh, yeah?
Professional fighter.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
Hey.
awesome.
Killer.
Hey,
And a
this
bad
is
son.
Women's History Month.
Yeah, sorry.
We can talk about them
Ben,
later.
Give your shout out. Ignore her. Give your shout out.
Amanda is correct. I apologize.
I'm gonna shout out favorite editor, Thelma Shoemaker. Just like the best. She's been Martin Scorsese's editor since the 80s, and just God, her work is so beautiful and non-conventional, and she throws a lot of continuity rules to the wind in a way that just makes every cut all the more visceral and a lot more meaningful. I don't know, it's not a Scorsese movie without those cool continuity errors that make you feel whoa, I'm off balance now. And she's the reason it's like that. There's a great quote from her where some guy was like, you're such a sweet lady, how do you edit all those violent movies? And she said, they're not violent until I've edited them.
There's this
That's
scene
great.
I enjoyed that.
in The Departed, which to this day I still think is the biggest editing accomplishment I've ever watched, where I think DiCaprio is at the therapist for the first time, and he's talking about you're with a murderer, a mass murderer, and it's going from that therapy session to him trying to convince Mark Wahlberg and Martin Sheen to take him out of here, he's gonna die, plus another shot of him and Ray Winstone going to shake someone down. Ray Winstone shoots the person
Yep.
through the soda bottle, and going through all these different segments at once while he's just sitting in that chair. And it that's if you I lost my spot. It's amazing.
Yeah, and like hell, all of Goodfellas, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, that movie is just an editing bonanza, and it's so full of cool tricks and cool freeze frames, and God, I love her work so much. And she's also great in the realm of film preservation. She was married to Michael Powell, and she kind of saw to it that a lot of his later films that were not as well respected received restorations, and yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
So a lot of my favorite actresses and such come from like horror movies. So, but behind the scenes of some of my favorite makeup artist is actually V. Neal. V. Neal did Lost Boys, the makeup for the Lost Boys. She did Pirates of the Caribbean. She did Death to Smith. She's done like anything that Tim Burton has done. She's probably been on the scene. She's done like so much monster movie. She did like Ed Wood, Mrs. Doubtfire, Beetlejuice. She's always been like the makeup artist for any monster that's been like in some crazy weird cult movie, like cult classic film. And she was also, Sci-Fi had a show called Face Off where it was a competition for Face Off. She was one of the judges on there. She was such a fun person to just talk to. I felt like she was like the best judge on there. One of the best judges, but she was such a delight. And she is such a fun person. If you ever, like, she also did, like, Hunger Games, so she did, like, all the makeup for, what was her name? The one who was always, like, may the odds be in your favor.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't remember her
That
name,
woman.
but we all know who she
Elizabeth,
is.
Elizabeth Banks. Yeah.
Yeah, she did all the
Effie
makeup for
Trinket,
that,
that's
too.
her name.
Oh, nice.
I think the makeup in that film was amazing as well. It's, like, it really puts you in the world of what exactly these people are into.
I think they might have won an award for that.
I think so.
Yeah.
But
Or
she's-
nominated, at least. I feel like I remember that being nominated.
That sounds familiar.
She did do that for best. She had an Academy Award for best makeup and hairstyling. So I don't know which films. I'm not really gonna dig deeper right now into it. But absolutely stunning personality, absolutely stunning makeup. She's so much fun, and you don't hear a lot about women in the chair behind the looks. I think she's amazing.
So I'm just gonna rattle off at one time all my other. So Eowyn from The Lord of the Rings. I think she's
Oh,
a
yeah?
I am no
fantastic
man.
character.
Mm.
No matter
was-
what Lou says.
like
She was
her.
a bit thirsty.
Yeah.
Aragorn was literally just like vibing, and then she'd be like,
Yeah, I was like,
Well,
stay away
honestly-
from Aragorn. Yeah, man.
Well,
Jesus,
honestly,
he's taken.
if I saw Aragorn, I would be thirsting after him too. He's one of the few competent people in that film.
I love the scene where he's like, I'm older than you, and she's like, not by much. And he's like, I'm like 82 years old, and she's just like,
I don't remember that scene.
there's a
It's
scene they're
on
at
the
the camps,
extended-
and they're talking, and he's
Oh,
like,
where
I'm
he
much
says
older than, no, they're at the
87?
party. He was like
Yeah,
87.
Your father has a good memory? Okay, that's.
And she's
I
like,
remember that scene.
she's like, so? He's like, I'm gonna look young, you're gonna look really old.
And then I was talking to Amanda and Kate about this.
Oh,
Steve
Sailor
Harvey from
Moon.
Sailor Moon. She's not perfect, but that's what makes her a fantastic character, and she cares about her friends.
Does Amanda have something to say about that?
No, we already did Sailor Moon episode. You can refer to that one about my opinions.
Oh, let's go back.
Shout out Caffeinated Librarians.
Yeah, and last but not least, Buffy.
Ah, there it is.
We knew it was coming.
Exactly.
Are we at all surprised? No.
No, but
But you can't argue with it.
no.
Strong
She's-
independent
she's
woman
a-
doesn't mean
She's a
anything.
badass woman.
And Buffy, the show, also set a standard for a particular genre, and also was one of the first shows with like a strong female lead. It did so much because the show was like horror, comedy, romance. It had different genres. The characters are fantastic, and she's always listed among like the top female characters in television history. So, yeah, that's it.
Interesting. Okay. I love Kate Winslet. Kate Winslet is great. I loved her as Rose in Titanic. I loved her as a character in A Little Chaos. It was like one of the last movies that Alan Rickman did before he passed away. I know, but she was great in that. And what other movie has she
The
been in?
Reader.
Huh?
Great in The Reader.
I didn't see The Reader.
She owned Steve Jobs. That was like her.
Oh, yeah.
And what else did I see her in? I saw her.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Revolutionary Road.
Yeah.
Oh, I also saw her in Revolutionary Road, and I love
What
her
a depressing movie.
It is a really
Revolutionary Road.
yeah. I love her in The Holiday because it's
Okay, that's a good one.
like one of the very first movies I've seen her in like a comedic role, and
Your
she's-
favorite Cameron Diaz is in that too. Was that you that didn't
No,
like
that was
Cameron
Kate.
Diaz?
I don't like
Oh, that was
Cameron
Kate.
Diaz.
Okay.
This is I'm sorry to take the spotlight away from women, but I do love Jack Black in that one.
Yes,
I like that he just gets to be a charming guy.
and I love that he ends up with Kate Winslet at the end of it. So it full circle there, Joe. That's good. So yeah.
Okay, Winslet, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with Sally Wainwright. She's a writer-director. She's done basically every great female-driven English property. Scott and Bailey, Last Tango in Halifax, Happy Valley. She did this 2-part episode that I didn't love really, but it was on the Bronte sister called To Walk Invisible. She's just about to be done with the 3rd and final season of Happy Valley. Incredibly smart, sharp, progressive writer. Everything takes place in Yorkshire. Everything's beautiful. She's top shelf.
I gotta tell you, I was a little disappointed with Happy Valley, only because the only reason I watched it was because I went to Penn State, and Penn State is otherwise known as Happy Valley. So I was like, oh my God, somebody made a show about the Penn State campus? That's great. Sat down, started watching, and I was like, this does not look like State College whatsoever.
Yeah.
But then the show was actually very
It's
good.
not what it looks like.
Yeah. I was like, why do they all have accents? That's not they're not saying yins. It's so weird.
They're not really in Pennsylvania, are they?
So, I guess I'll shout out a couple of actresses now. I love Emma Stone. I think she just seems like such a sweet human being. I've never met her, but I've often thought about what I would do if I met her. And that came out weird.
Well, 'cause ultimately, you'd probably just smile and leave her alone. But I know
More than
You just
likely,
go, hi, and she goes, hi, you're sleeping.
yeah. But she seems like the kind of person where if a fan did go up to her and say, hey, I'm a huge fan, she'd be like, oh my God, cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. If Emma Stone said hello to me, I'd be bragging about that for about a year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And, she actually filmed Maniac in the town that I live in.
Oh,
And,
really?
Yeah. And she was at the park that's like down the street.
That's cool.
Like, she was like right there. And I could have gone and met her. And actually, some of the teens that go into the teen room, they did meet her. They took a picture with her. And because my love for Emma Stone is so well known, they actually came to the library the next day to show me.
Oh, that's just salt in the wound.
It was a little bit, but I appreciated
It's like, don't show me
their
that.
sentiment. But she just seems like an awesome person. She's a great actress. I really do think she's great. And I'm also going to shout out Zendaya because I'm hooked on Euphoria. Haven't even seen anything else she's
shout
done.
out to all the girls
Spider-Man.
on Euphoria.
True.
They all kill it. Hunter Schafer rocks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
And apparently, the one from Everything Sucks is really great too. But I don't know.
Sydney Sweeney.
That's it. Yeah.
Who's that?
Cassie.
Cassie. Oh yeah. She cries a lot, but she does a good job.
But she's a good crying.
Yeah. And you understand why she's crying. I mean, it's messed up. But no
Yeah,
spoilers.
last season was rough for her.
Yeah.
She's been humbled now.
Oh, and Kate Winslet. Speaking of HBO series, Mayor of Easttown.
Oh my God, yeah.
I don't think that was the best series, but I thought she was.
You didn't think that was good?
So it's a balance, right? It's the family stuff, the slice of life stuff was like some of the best I've ever watched. The interpersonal relationships, the murder mystery was like the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Oh,
I
I
was
was
just
hooked.
like we legit like had an episode where the last section of it was a male body with his face cut out of the shot as he's like handcuffing a girl, and it's just like he was a random note. It felt like the murder mysteries being created as they went along, whereas everything else was like this well-balanced machine of like.
I could
perfect
see
setting.
that. I think they were definitely trying to milk it a little bit. But I was still hooked, and I was like, I had no idea who it was.
Yeah, I don't think they knew who it was until like they finished writing it. That's the vibe I got from that.
Yeah.
But she was, once again, there was like weird parallel with Happy Valley with that show. There's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
a very
yeah.
similar vibe.
Yeah, I can see that.
So
She was great when the big thing happens in that one episode. I was like, I thought she was going to get shot, not the guy. Sorry.
certainly.
Spoilers. Yeah.
that was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm gonna shout out a series of horror movies from the 80s.
Nice.
Slumber Party Massacre.
I was looking that up just before this
They're
podcast.
so cool. And they're all written and directed by women. Different directors for each one. The first one is Amy Holden Jones, and the second one is Deborah Brock. And they're sort of like slightly feminist takes on like horror movies of the era. The first one definitely has a lot of parallels with Halloween, and the second one has
It's a slasher flick. That's
yeah,
what it is. Yeah.
and
no.
the second one has some parallels with Nightmare on Elm Street. But I haven't seen the third one, so I can't comment on that.
Marathon.
But they are the first two are so much fun, and just I don't know, it's very cool to see like slashers done by women, and it picks up on a lot of stuff within the genre. And yeah, no, I love those movies. The second one is one of the more deranged things I've seen. It's absolutely nutso mode. I love it. At times it like almost wades into David Lynch territory, and you're like, what's going on with this? Why does it feel like this? But like I said, I just love those.
So I guess it's time for the shout-outs. So the last person I'll say for as far as like movies I've seen that are like English films, Ava Green is someone I absolutely adore. She's just got such a look about her that I can recognize her in any role that she's in.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know who she was until Casino Royale.
Was she not the best Bond girl
She
ever?
was
Yeah.
one of the best Bond girls. She was
She
so
might be
good
the
in
best.
Casino Royale.
I
And
think she was
also-
supposed to be like the first Bond girl, like
she
the
is.
one that.
Casino Royale is the first book,
Yeah,
so she
yeah.
plays the first Bond girl.
Yeah.
She
But
was kick-ass Artemisia in 300 Rise of the Empire.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
she is.
But she was also in a show called Penny Dreadful that I was a
Oh,
huge
yeah.
fan of because it was the only one that got Dorian Gray's description correct.
She was fantastic in that show.
She was such a good character in that show, and she was only made stronger by the people around her. Like, I think it was Billy Lord who's also in it,
Oh,
who
I love
plays.
Billy Lord. I haven't
She
seen
was
Penny Dreadful,
fantastic
but
in it
yeah.
too. She plays, I think, kind of like the bride of Frankenstein, almost.
Ooh, that's real
She
fun.
she plays a literary character who then turns into a version in this show. The show plays off like horror like stories like Dracula, Dorian Gray, Frankenstein, kind of like the old gothic tales, but puts it into a show that's directly about this woman who's clearly got something coming after her. We don't quite know what it is, and that's the mystery. And she does such a good job of being like a tormented, like not possessed per se, but she's being chased and she just has this aloofness. And I think Ava Green in general has this very aloof look to her where it's like there's more to her, like a darker side to her, and you just don't know if you want to like go deeper into it or if you want to stay like at a safe distance from her. And I think she portrays it on the screen very well. I haven't seen a lot of her other films.
What's the
though.
movie that she's in with the two boys?
Oh, the Bertolucci film or whatever from
Yeah.
2003. That's the one that made her kind of famous.
Yeah.
After that,
She's
yeah.
excellent in
Dreamers?
that.
Dreamers.
Yeah,
The
that's it.
Dreamers.
Yeah, yeah.
My first experience with her was Kingdom of Heaven, and she was awesome in that movie. And that was a big, long, epic Lords of Arabia kind of film.
Yeah.
And she's really good in it.
So, and just three other names are like, there was the movie Audition, and the actress who
Oh, yeah.
played the woman in that, Ahi Sheena, I apologize if I butcher names. I think till this day, she's one of the most iconic horror movie characters. She was a model before she was an actress, and her first breakout film was literally about a third-rate model. So the fact that she played a model in a model movie was great, but then Audition came out, and then she became like a cult classic, like horror, because she did Tokyo Gore Police. Audition was by itself a very like unsettling movie, and the book is even more unsettling. If you ever have a chance, I honestly recommend reading it. I've been thinking about trying to get us to have it here, but it's in my own personal collection. But Eiji Shina personified that character so well. She was like the perfect amount of like creepy and unsettling.
When she was sitting there by the phone,
God.
you're like, oh, okay, she's crazy. And then the
bag.
box flips
Yeah.
over, and you're like, oh no, she's like another level of crazy.
Moral of the film: don't let your kids pick who you're gonna date. Maybe just find out. There's also the movie Memoirs of a Geisha, and the woman who played, her name was Gong Li, is the actress's name. She played Hatsumomo in that one, which was the geisha who was the head geisha of her house, of the entire area, and she was amazing.
Yeah, she was.
Am I missing something about that movie, though?
Memoirs of a Geisha?
Zhang Yi, Michelle Yeoh, and Gong Li are all Chinese actresses.
Well, what's actually really funny is that I believe Gong Li actually grew up in... No, it was... One of the actresses grew up in Japan, but all of them are Chinese actresses, yes.
Right.
Which is why that film got a lot of, like... Some people weren't very happy with the film. So, but it was hard. They said they didn't get many Japanese actresses applying for the role at the time. But despite that, they did a fantastic job. Hatsumomo was probably one of the strongest characters. You love to hate. It's like you hate to love her.
Yes.
Because of her life. And she personifies just this nasty aura of like a woman who's on the top, but at the same time, she's very much on the bottom of things. And when she finally runs away, it's one of those like heartbreaking scenes where you just kind of wish the best for her, even though she won't have it.
Well, she didn't run away. She was cast out of the house.
She was cast out, but I think she really wanted to be with the guy. But we won't ever know if she actually had it. But that rain scene when they catch her is so heart wrenching. Like as I said, you hate to love her character because once you understand her, it's like, oh no, I feel bad for hating you.
Yeah.
And my last shout out will be the voice actress, Yuko Miyamura. She did Asuka Langley in all the Evangelion films, and in the last Evangelion film, which came out in the last year or so, this was her last time playing that role. And over like 20 years of this whole franchise coming together, she never switched her role, unlike the American voice actresses did. Amazing. No one can ever play that voice the same way again. The dramatic effect of her screams, her just being like a total confident, but at the same time she portrayed that. She is that character for all I care. And no one will ever take that from her. She was such a powerful performance, probably the most powerful performance in that entire series. As much as I'm not a huge fan of Asuka as a character, I love the voice actress and what she did with her. Amazing. Thank you, Yuko, for 20 years.
I would like to add just one more, and I know we said this is TV and movies, but I do want to do like a video game voice actress.
Go for it.
Laura Bailey, who plays Nadine in Uncharted 4. She's amazing, and it's my favorite video game.
She's on Critical Role.
She is on Critical Role. Yes, she is, and she voices her character from the first campaign in the Legend of Vox Machina, the animated series.
I need to check that out.
It's
it was actually
good.
Fabled Librarians will be discussing that.
Oh,
discussing
sick.
that.
We will
Okay.
be discussing it.
So
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah, I might hop on that because Critical Role seems cool, but the episodes are like 4 hours.
Well, that's
and
because
there's a
They
lot of
definitely
them.
shortened it enough where they have an actual coherent story. Which
Yeah.
makes sense, so.
Well, yeah, but you're also watching a
Oh, yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons campaign game
Yeah.
that's going to be 3 to 4
Yeah,
hours long.
I play D&D already, so
I used to play Dungeons and Dragons when I lived in Albany, but then when I left, I couldn't play anymore, and I was very sad
I'm
about
trying to
it.
get in a game.
I want to play again. Anyway, so Laura Bailey she's really great as Nadine, and if you've played Uncharted 4, you can tell why. And Uncharted Lost Legacy as well, when she teams up with Chloe Fraser.
Cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to 2 major, I think, power players in the industry now and going forward, and Tessa Thompson and Rosario Dawson. I think
Rosario Dawson's been around for years, though.
She's been in the game for 20 years and is gaining more popularity than ever and has like her irons and a lot of fires and is just incredible.
Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah, yes, and not even to mention,
Yeah.
Star Wars TV series on the way. And Tessa Thompson.
You could say she stole every scene she was in Creed.
Yep,
Yeah.
and Creed 2, killer
Yeah.
entrance.
Yeah.
And she wrote all that music herself, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
I think so. I mean, don't quote me on that. Actually, better quote me on that and tell me if I'm wrong, because I want to be called out if I'm wrong.
Noted.
But she is, Tessa Thompson just is one of the most talented, gifted artists, bar none. And shout out to a movie trailer if you want to know what a lot of my friends go through on a pretty regular basis. Alex Garland just released a trailer for his movie called Men, and it's just a horror movie built on shit women deal with on a daily basis.
Oh, that's a movie about me.
And all of the men are played by the same guy.
Oh my god. It's like AI with Juno. Quick shout out to Octavia Spencer also. She was on my list of people to shout out. She's been amazing in the past couple of years, and I was thinking about the horror movie actresses I enjoy.
Ma.
And I saw Ma. As much as I didn't like Ma because there were some flaws in the film, which I was like, this is not really well thought out. Her acting and portrayal of that creepy person was very, very good. And I applaud her for. I love actresses that go into who are serious actresses who go into horror, goofy horror films, and I like to see what they do.
Ma is one of the
God.
most fun performances.
It's so weird.
I love the scene towards the end where she's giving the kids karmic punishments, but half of them don't make any sense at all, and it's just I don't
Her whole
think
thing
you've
didn't make
accurately
sense.
read this. Also,
I like your dad, so.
dog blood transfusion. One of the wackiest kills I've ever seen. She gives a man dog blood.
Oh my
That'll do it.
It will do.
god.
If we're doing lightning round actresses, shout out Laura Dern. One of the best in the game.
Jurassic
always.
Park mixed one.
That
I was
Jurassic
so-
World trailer is.
Jurassic World Dominion. I am so excited that they're coming back. Oh my god.
That was some
Yes.
Force Awakens goosebumps watching
Yeah.
that trailer.
This is my Force Awakens.
Maggie Chung, just an astounding actress. She's probably most known here for the Wong Kar-wai movie she's done, In the Mood for Love. But she's also she was acting in Hong Kong since the 80s, and recently I've been watching a lot of 80s Hong Kong stuff, and whenever she pops up, I'm like, yes, Maggie time. Love her. She rocks. Saoirse Ronan as well. Amazing actress. I always love seeing her and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Lady Bird, what a movie.
I love her in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Brooklyn too,
Even though she picks the wrong guy, but I do like her in Brooklyn.
We're not getting back into that.
Yo, I've been there. She should have been with him.
One day you see Katie Skull.
You put his picture there. Edit
I always had this dream scenario of Jason Bourne, Ethan Hunt, Liam Neeson's character from Taken, every single super spy character running into a room and getting disarmed by the other, and then Hannah is the one who disarms them all and wins the battle of the super spy. I don't know.
I like it.
Be a cool MTV skit, but
Yeah.
not a full movie.
Another great female character, Liam Neeson's daughter in Taken 2, when she just starts throwing grenades into a crowded city.
Not
She was in Lost also.
wasn't the smartest movie series, was it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Entertaining though. I mean, I wouldn't say a waste of an hour and a half.
The first one, definitely not. The first one had other than some incredible xenophobia, had some pretty good action in it.
Europe.
Yeah, Albanians.
Oh,
So, all right. I think we've definitely covered our favorites. And I think there will be many more to come in the future as we see new up-and-coming
Shout out Meryl
actresses.
Streep.
Ooh.
Oh, shout out the Wachowski sisters.
And I just want to say Ashley Johnson and Marisha Ray. also very great, talented voice actresses.
Matrix Resurrections is my favorite Matrix movie.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to shout out Anya Taylor-Joy too. I think
Oh, yeah.
she's one of the.
She's terrific.
She's
She's
going to
great
be
in
in some
Peaky
of my
Blinders,
favorite
too.
movies already.
She's in Peaky Blinders.
She's in Peaky Blinders
Good
also.
God, how am I not watching this series?
Show has
Right?
everything.
Then it's
I
just
need to watch
from
it.
what I understand, it is British character actors shooting each other while Nick Cave plays. You gotta watch
This
this.
seems like I'm going to see Nick Cave on Sunday.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, this is like built for me. This show. It's time.
All right.
I have to do this. I quit.
We've run out of time, unfortunately, and I think this has been a fun time discussing some of our favorite female actresses, behind the scenes ladies, and maybe some of our favorite future up and coming stars as, you know, they grow older and they get more experience and we see them shine like the diamonds that they already are.
And we all want to say a quick thank you to Putnam County Savings Bank. They provided us with a donation and we were able to get these nice microphones and a new audio interface and a brand new camera.
Thank you.
So thank you, Putnam County
Thank
Savings Bank.
you.
So, and we'll see you next week when we talk about Cobra Kai and all of its insanity.
I like it.
See you then.